What's up, guys? Matthew, getting ready to watch the second episode of the second season of Squid Game. Last we saw an intense couple of rounds of Russian roulette to sort of start off the season. A lot different than the childlike games of the last one. I don't know if that's just sort of because we're not inside of the games, or sort of maybe symbolism for this shit is getting real serious. If it wasn't serious before, if it wasn't serious seeing 455 people fucking dying, now it's really goddamn scary. I don't know how this will end, because obviously Jihan wants to sort of shut this down, but it's got to go so high up, like so far high up, that I don't even know if one person can do it. I mean, obviously, I feel like this episode he's going to form some sort of partnership maybe with Jun-Ho. Either that, or maybe Jun-Ho is just going to sort of watch in the background as Jihan sort of gets himself into the game. I don't know. The guy said the key was in his pocket. I don't know if that's just an invitation to the game or a phone number or something like that, but I don't know. I'm excited to see what's going to go down this episode. I'm ready to hop straight into it. I'll yap more at the end of the episode. But if you guys like the video, drop like, leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. I've got the full length reaction up on Patreon. And if you guys want to see more content in the future, and you guys like the content I put on the channel, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. It really does help me out. Let's get into the episode. Is his associate still locked up in a room?
씨가 보고 싶어 하시는 그분을 만날 수 있는 방법이 제 주머니에 있습니다.
Surprised that he killed himself? Not surprised, but I mean, just like, it's hard to kill yourself, you know what I mean? It's like he didn't even want to live at all. But he seemed content ruining people's lives. Oh, it was in the room. Oh no, he just took him. he just took him. Damn.
경찰이다. 손 머리 위로 올려.
Great shot. Hiding the card? Damn. Oh. Hide that card with all your might.
당신은 살인 용의자로 체포한다. 당신은 변호사 선고할 권리가 있고.
You ain't bringing him in. Oh, nice job!
뭐야?
Oh, he doesn't even know his people.
성기훈 사장님이시죠? 저는 김 대표님하고 같이 그 딱지치기 한 놈 찾으러 갔던 최우정 이사라고 합니다. 저 지하철에서 김 대표님하고 인증샷 통으로 맨날 보냈었는데 기억 안 나세요?
Damn, he's got a lot of parallels between, like, him as the head of this boss and the whole thing with the game.
여기 가위만 뺐으면 됐는다. 이걸 왜 안 빼가지고 바보같이.
Damn. Halloween? This is such a different vibe. Obviously, it's on purpose, and obviously, I told you it had to be. It had to be a different vibe. But this really does feel like a detective season. If that makes any sense. Jesus. I mean, like, I am getting like real parallels with. I don't want to say hypocritical. So I feel like, again, a big part of this is like corruptibility. But like the pink and the green with the shapes in the background, it's almost like he's like the front man.
너도 그 가면 중에 하나였나?
난 형을 찾으려고 가면으로 위장해서 들어간 거였어.
그 말을 어떻게 믿지?
그때 가면 한 명이 당신한테 황인호에 대해서 물었을 거야.
456번.
We don't need these stupid flashbacks. Well, some people might, but put the gun down. I know you're badass now, but
당신이 죽인 사람은 누구야?
그놈은 게임에 들어갈 참가자를 모으는 모집책이야. 하지만 내가 죽인 건 아니야. 그놈이 게임에서 쳤을 뿐이야.
당신 아직도 그 게임
part of it.
게임을 멈추려는 거야.
어떻게?
그놈부터 잡을 거야.
Oh man.
밑에서 게임을 관리하던 놈.
Yes. You gonna admit it?
대장이라고 불러. 얼굴을 봤어?
He's not gonna tell him.
놈을 죽인다고 게임이 끝나지는 않아.
How do you propose to end it?
그렇지. 자기 고객들을 위해서 게임을 만들어.
You're gonna find every single one of his clients?
VIP라고 불리는 놈들이 있는데
No, above VIPs.
날 풀어줘. 내가 그 놈들 찾는 걸 도와줄게.
송 사장님, 경찰은 안 돼요. 제가 평생 경찰이 우리 같은 사람들한테 도움이 된 걸 본 적이 없어.
Little man. Oh, dude, is he gonna take him in to the game with him?
그 섬에서 죽은 사람들을? 난 거기서 당신이 보지 못한 것들을 봤어. 당신이 하려는 일 내가 도울 수 있어.
Team up, team up. This is like the Avengers.
조금 때렸는데 근데 경찰이 저만 잡아가는 거예요. 그리고 합의를 보래요. 내가 합의 볼 돈이 어디 있어? 그 새끼가
I'm scared for Woo-seok. He seems like the goofy, funny sidekick
벌도 안 받고 내가 그때부터 경찰은 믿지 않는.
who you fall in love with. Damn.
송 사장님이 게임에서 우승한 게 진짜였어요?
I would not. This man's gonna steal all the money.
이걸로 그놈들과 싸울 겁니다. 저를 도와주시면 보상은 얼마든지 하겠습니다.
전 돈 때문에 이 일을 하려는 게 아닙니다.
Oh, this man. I'll help you for anything.
맞습니다. 그 새끼가 제 눈앞에서 우리 형님을 죽였어요. 내 주례까지 써준 진짜 치적 같은 형님인데.
Aww. He still cares about the money a lot.
이런 권총 몇 자루로 상대할 수 있는 놈들이 아니에요.
Oh, this man went shopping. He went shopping.
이거 진짜 총이에요? 성 사장님 어디서 이런 걸 다?
Black market.
우리 성 사장님은 다 계획이 있으시구나.
God.
함께 할 만한 사람들을 모아주세요. 예, 걱정하지 마세요.
So again, here's the thing. I'm gonna be the first one to admit it. I'm not a good person. I told you last season if I was Sangwoo, I would act like exactly like Sangwoo, even harder. If I was Woo-seok, I'm getting a couple guys, and we're robbing this motherfucker.
작동됩니까?
Oh, he went training. Oh my god, dude, he's got layers upon layers. This feels like the island. It feels like it's an exact parallel, in my opinion. With the pink fucking... Oh, he has been training. It feels like, obviously, when I say corrupted, he's not like, you know, hurting the innocent and poor people like that, but he has been changed fundamentally.
직장은 그만두는 게 좋을 겁니다.
I'll pay you a fee. We'll get that fucking boater on our team to go scouting. You're not allowed to... Someone kick him out! I'm sorry, I don't know what this is.
토끼야, 이거 네 거야.
Aww. What happened to your bunny hands?
아니 이 돼지 새끼는
Oh, poor girl.
대단해. 이거 내 거만이래?
Don't yell at this kid. Aww. Nah, young. I don't know. Should I write this person down? I don't know.
쟤는 언제 병원에서 나왔어?
누구예요?
아, 그 여기 공원에서 그 관람객들 초상화 그려주는 화가들 있잖아. 방금 그 남자가 그 화가인데 그 사람 딸이야.
왜 얘가 어디 아파요?
Yeah, she's been in the hospital. Aww.
그걸 해야 된다는데 그게 좀 쉽지가 않나 봐.
Aww. Is that who she's gonna go for the money for? Along with herself? Aww. Is the kid doing okay?
차라!
Yay.
어머님!
Aw, he's gotten bigger.
왜 이렇게 날 괴롭혀? 제발 다른 그룹한테 가라니까.
다른 놈들은 다 죽었다고 하니까요.
아 그럼 죽었겠지. 야, 죽은 애를 살리는 재주가 있어.
살아있을지도 모른다고 하셨.
Who's she related to? Or who did she know? Was it It's not Sae-byok. Is it Han Myo or the girl who sacrificed herself for Sae-byok?
마지막으로 한 번만 더 찾아봐 주세요.
Oh, did she win a game? Past game?
이래서 사람이 착하게 살아야 되나?
제발 부탁드릴게요. 부족하면 돈은 더 가져다 드릴게요.
돈으로 될 거면 내가 진즉에 더 달라고 해.
Yo, why is this guy kind of goaded? No, you.
엄마 아빠도 없이 그 돌쟁이가 혼자 북두선에서 어떻게 살아남았겠어? 거기다가 엄마는 상관한테 총질하고 혼자 남쪽으로 뛴 반동. 아니 그게 노을씨 탓이라는 게 아니고 그냥 전후 상황이 그렇다는 거지 뭐. 이게 좀 그렇지만
Aww.
그래도 잊어라. 있는 수밖에.
That's a horrible thing to say. Oh, no. Poor woman. Again? Oh no. This is gonna be another. It's gonna be an invitation?
넘길게요.
강노을 씨,
Kang. They're getting pretty goddamn bold with these invitations.
우리랑 인연을
Okay, so they just think that she just thinks that he moved away.
이렇게 몇 년 동안 소식도 없는 걸 보면
But obviously, saw his face, can't go back.
형이 뇌물 받은 것도 형이 스스로 결정한 거예요. 형이 그 꼴이 된 건 제 탓도 어머니 탓도.
That's why I watched another video that read what was on the files, that he was past police just like his brother. He's obsessed with this bunny, man. Aww. Different person? I don't like seeing sad children. No! No! Are you just letting your kid wander by herself? Oh, is she okay? No. Oh, get the hat. Pick up the hat. This is some motivation here. Does it remind her of hers? Secret back there? Jesus Christ. Oh, that's awesome. Tracking device. Don't stay. Jesus Christ, scaring me so goddamn bad. Is the money still out in the open? Like, I would not. Not that he cares about having the money, but he cares about the mission, and I feel like in order to do the mission, you wouldn't want these guys to see the money.
여기는 특전사 출신. 아, 여기는 그냥 경찰 출신. 보셔서 아시겠지만 다들 입금만 됐다.
It's mostly because of this gentleman. But this season is so far is surprisingly like comedic, lighthearted, but obviously I feel like as we go on.
내일 제가 신호를 드리기 전까지는 절대로 먼저 움직이면 안 됩니다.
This I'm gonna say it one more time. It's such a different vibe, and I love it. Like I'm sure that there are a couple people that are like, to it, but so far this is great.
추적기까지 달아났잖아요. 그놈들이 성 사장님 데리고 어디를 가도 우리는 바로 쫓아갈 거니까 겁먹지 마세요. Don't worry.
Jesus Christ, they keep scaring me too. Woo Seok? Okay.
Hello? Who is calling? Hello?
Say something! Oh, he can't. talk.
무슨 전화야? 몰라. 말을 안 해. 장난전화인가 봐.
Jihan, talk. It's okay. Oh, the poor guy. That's another thing too. I keep saying he's like, this is a noble cause, but like, I know it's blood money, and I know that he's not someone who can just take it, you know, but he could still live a happy life.
1994년
It's
6월.
like he's sacrificing his happiness for the greater good because he thinks he needs to. I do wonder if we're, because again, I don't know if this is the second game, or I don't know how to explain this. It's the same situation I had at the end of that last episode. Okay, either 2 or 3 games have happened, meaning there's already been 2 or 3 winners. I wonder if we're going to interact with any of them.
그래서 후드에 검은 가면을 썼다고 했죠.
I thought it was black on black, but you know.
그놈이 얼굴을 가리고 오려고 오늘을 잡은 거네. 아, 이 새끼 머리 쓴다.
It probably ain't even him. The pink watch?
맞아.
아, 예.
They're keeping with this pink and green color scheme, man.
이거 얼마예요?
Green horse? Green?
가면이요. 가면들이 나타났어요. 지금 클럽으로 들어갔습니다.
가면? 야, 여기 지금 죄다 가면들이야.
Explain what they look like.
경찰들 줄 서 있는 거 안 보여요? 아니 할로윈인데 경찰 제복이라도 입고 와야지.
You idiot! Why are you making such a goddamn scene?
핑크 안 보여?
Oh, damn.
한놈 더 있다고요.
Oh my god! That's fun. That's such a funny visual, but oh my god. I mean, I would assume that if they would risk being here, the people at the front are connected to it. So they know that he is here. That Joe. Why do I keep messing up the goddamn name? Jun-Ho? Jun-Ho. Gone. Oh.
다들 추격 시작하세요.
명심하세요. 꼭
생각보다 멋진 차였군.
네가 진심으로 잘 살기를 바랬어. 지난 일은 다 잊고 행복하길 바랬지.
How could I forget? He's a good human unlike you.
눈물 나게 고맙군.
넌 그 비행기를 탔어야 했어. 그게 넌.
Okay, he's gonna say, I want to play a game with you. If I win again, you're done. No more. If I win. If I lose, I lose.
그래서 널 꼭 다시 만나고 싶었지.
이렇게 만났으니 하고 싶은 말을 해봐. 나한테 뭘 원하지?
And if that does happen, he'd be almost like a Sang-woo type character where he would really want to win for the greater good.
널 멈춰.
So maybe he would get people to die for him.
너희들은 궁지에 몰린 사람들의 마음을 이용해서 그들을 사지로 몰아놓고 즐기는 거야. 그걸 그들의 선택이라고 포장하면 너희들이 하는 그 더러운 짓이 자선 행사라도 되는 건가?
그들은 어차피 게임에서 진 사람들이야. 경쟁에서 탈락한 쓰레기들.
The people who die in the first game don't really have a choice.
수많은 쓰레기들이 쏟아지고 있어.
Oh my god.
아직도 모르겠나? 세상이 바뀌지 않는 한 게임은 끝나지 않아.
Then try and change it.
너 같은 놈들이 만들어내는 이야기야. 사람은 그저 경마장의 말이고 지들이 말의 주인이라고 생각하는 놈들.
말솜씨가 많이 늘었군. 그래서 말 주인들을 설득이라도 하려는 거야. 제발 경주를.
No convincing them. There's no convincing. You have to play the game.
근데
Edited
움직임이
Triple H theme song.
상하죠. 여의도 내부를 계속 돌고 있습니다. 눈치챘을 수도 있어요. 지금 바로 리무진 멈추세요.
알겠습니다. 작전 시작하겠습니다.
Jesus. Oh no. You really thought they were that stupid? Oh my god.
아니면 날 납치라도 하려고 했던 건가?
제가 따라갑니다.
You're being. Damn! They had everything. I mean, I would have assumed that they have been watching him this entire time, but still.
세세워.
Come on.
그 권총 한 자루로 게임을 끝낼 수 있겠어?
Oh no, he's gonna offer him the game. There's only one way to play the game.
게임을 하게 해줘. 게임을 하겠다고?
다시 게임을 하게 해줘.
조금 전까진 게임을 멈추라고 하지 않았나?
내가 다시 게임에 들어가면 네가 모시는 그 돈 많은 놈들은 분명 더 재밌어 할 거야. 그러니까 날 게임장으로 데려가.
겁이 나는 건가? 너도 오일남처럼 나한테 질까봐? 오일남은 죽는 순간까지 인정하려고 하지 않았어. 누군가 그 노숙자를 구하러 왔다는 걸 알면서도 창밖을 보려고 하지 않았지. 하지만 숨이 멎는 순간 분명히 알고 있었어.
He's so badass.
자기가 졌다.
He's so badass and he's so good. It's so rare that a badass.
약을 먹고 편히 살면 될 텐데 굳이 빨간 약을 먹고 영웅 흉내를 내는 인간들.
It's so rare that a badass is so like good at heart.
네가 이 세상을 바꿀 수 있는 영웅이라고 생각하는 건가?
I'm telling you, he's gonna go into this game, and he is going to have to do some Sangwoo-ish shit to shut this game down. He's gonna take himself even further down.
원한다면 뜻대로 해주지.
Oh, he's being taken straight there. He is going to assume the role of Sangwoo. And again, I'm just making predictions before we even entered the game, you know what I mean? But I think it would be very heartbreaking. He's already sort of slipping down, being corrupted, if that makes sense. But if he... was he actually there? Holy shit. He ain't no pussy. Ain't no pussy.
게임에 돌아온 걸 환영하네.
I could
플랜 B 시작하겠습니다.
I could see him, obviously his main goal is to shut this down. I could see him adopting a mindset of what's the life of 450 people compared to potentially saving decades of 450 people each year. So that would scare me that he could be very corrupted. I would assume that Neil is going to be our new, like, obviously she's the only one really focused on, but she's being strongly focused. Oh, they got a new way this year. New way to do things. Oh, hold up. No, no, no. She's a worker. Ain't she? This seems... Unless they change up the way they were doing it. Is she a worker? Because this is very fucking different. I was gonna say, that walking in there gave me the Substance vibes. I don't know if you guys have watched that movie. Best movie of 2024. Fucking incredible movie. One of my all-time favorites. Hey, give me my money. Give me my goddamn money. Now, the question is... is she just a regular worker? Is she okay with all of this? Okay, let me write down a triangle next to her name. Is she okay with all of this? Or Does she have ulterior motives, like maybe stealing the money? That I don't know. Was she at past games, or is this her first game? That was another phenomenal episode. I'm loving this season so far. Yeah, I've talked about it a couple times, and I do sort of want to focus in on it again. Plot-wise, I don't know. I'll just say it like this. Especially in the modern time of television, where there's like 3 years in between each season, and there's so much build-up, and you know what I mean. There's always a part of you that maybe this next season is going to be disappointing. Maybe it's going to let you down. But so far, that is not the case. That is really not the case. I have thoroughly enjoyed this. I liked, and again, I'm going to keep saying it. I'm probably going to say it every episode of this season because I feel like it's such an important detail. And maybe not even the rest of the season, but the setup specifically is so different, so utterly dramatically different than the last season. But I like how they're able to change things up in a meaningful way. And by that I mean like subverting your expectations in a beautiful way, where you build up thinking that Neil is going to be a player, and no, that's different. So we're gonna, but that's not. I got. Sorry, I'm all over the place. The question now is, are we going to follow her that much, or is this just going to be a sort of Chekhov's gun where she is here? I could see a world in which they don't showcase her for a couple episodes. Obviously, I would assume the next episode we're gonna have not only the introduction of everyone, but also the first game. Going along with that, I could see them, not focusing on her for a couple episodes, sort of letting us get introduced to everyone as we play a game or 2 games. Another thing I'm interested. Oh well, okay. Because the island's gonna have like snipers and shit like that, and like protectors around the island watching it all the time. So I don't know if Jun-Ho can just as easily go into the island. Although I will say, and my only complaint about last season was the only part of the show that I really was like, that was shit. It was Jun-Ho getting onto the island, sneaking onto the boat. Didn't make any sense. Okay, they should have saw his ass. I feel like they're gonna pull a repeat. Okay, because they got the tracker there. He's gonna go to his friend with the boat and find a way on the island, but I feel like they would see that. So I don't know if it can be that simple. Oh, he's probably gonna get some diving gear and do the same exact thing. Hey, give me my money. I know what the hell I'm doing. That was a really goddamn good episode. The Woo Seok, he's a very, very good comedic buffoon, second right-hand man, if that makes sense. I said this a couple times the last couple episodes. The first episodes felt very comedic. And not like the whole thing, not like the whole vibe, because it still felt like a very serious drama. But surprisingly a lot more comedy than I would have thought, and as of right now I don't have a problem with that. If that continues at an expanded rate, then I will start to show some discretions with it, so to speak. But I think it's a good, it's all fun right now. Okay, the minute we get the game starts, shit's serious. Okay, that's another thing I want to talk about. And I tried to talk about it a little throughout the episode, but I kept getting not interrupted because I want to be interrupted by the show. I want the show to make me shut up, but from where I'm sitting right now, my major prediction would be the Sangwooification of Jihan, in the sense of the minute he gets into this game, he's gonna find himself in a really, really, really fucking hard point. Okay, because he can't stop it. Like I'm sure he'll try to scheme and try to maybe get into vents or whatever, or try to, get his hands on the front man. But that's not going to happen. Like, the games are going to happen. People are going to die. And I'm sure the first couple games he'll try to save people or protect people, get people under his wing. But the same sort of shit's going to start happening. They're going to pull that shit where they don't feed him, and the riot's going to start. They're probably going to be different games, but the same sort of nature of the games. You don't know if you're going to be on a team or against or whatever. But all that being said, there's going to come a point when he's going to realize he's going to have to win the game. If he wants to do what he wants to do, he needs to win the game. With that being said, in order to win the game, everyone's got to fucking die. So he's going. I don't know if he's going to do it purposefully, like Sang-woo did, like how he manipulated Ali and like lied to him and like that, or if he's just going to not help people. Because that's another thing too. He wants to die. You know what I mean? He doesn't really have that strong of a will to live right now. So I don't think him losing the game isn't the end of the world for him, because you know what I mean, he's so depressed and all that. But I could definitely see a world in which he comes to the realization that hey, I want the whole games to end. I want to save thousands of people's lives in the future. So what's 455 dead now? And sort of puts an emphasis on winning. And then Jun-ho will obviously be watching, will be lurking in the back somewhere, and he will see this going down and maybe sort of bring him back to the side of, I don't know, because it's not the side of good, but all I'm going to say is, I'm not going to make any more predictions on that aspect, it's just interesting that on the horizon is a very big moral dilemma for Ji-hun. A very big moral dilemma. So I don't know how it's going to play out. I don't know. I've already said a couple times, and I feel like that's another point of, its message about capitalism. And it's something that I've seen and a lot of shows have sort of focused on. The cycle, the system, you can't break it. It's so hard to break it. And obviously that's, what Ji-hun's trying to do here. But I've seen a lot of people in life sort of like speak negative upon, go against, be vehemently against something that's up here when they're down here, yet the minute that they get up here, they forget about that. And I'm not saying that Ji-hun's gonna forget about that. I'm not saying that whatsoever. All I'm saying is, and it's very obvious, you saw it last season, this experience has changed him. And I could see it really change to the point where, unlike Il-nam and In-ho, unlike those people where they sort of lost their happiness or whatever and decided to go deeper into the negative aspect and portray these games, keep the games going, I see a world in which Ji-hun, in order to stop the games, will go deeper and deeper and deeper. Which is going to be hard to see, especially if we get to a scenario where, because it's another thing we got to think about, we haven't met any of players, and I thought, obviously everyone thought Yul was a player for the first episode and a half, but that's obviously not the case. So now, to my knowledge, the only player I know of is Jun-hee, which I don't really know anything about. I know that she was at a gynecologist thing, and that was it. And her boyfriend, brother, male person in her life. All this being said, the point I'm trying to make is we can run into another Ji-hun, and by that I mean we can run into a new protagonist, a new spiritual leader, a new amazing angel of a person like Ji-hun was. And at that point, the question starts to become, who do we want to win? Because obviously, Ji-hun is trying to take them down, so of course we want him to win, and he's the protagonist of the whole show. We root for him, but at the same time, you got two angels going up against each other in a one-on-one battle. You don't want either of them to die or lose. So this is hard. This is very hard. But also, I will say, and the thing I'm most fearful of, I wasn't scared that the show was going to be bad, or like the second season was going to be bad or anything like that. Obviously there always is that sort of aspect of you that is, maybe they could be disappointing. I didn't really think that. The only thing I probably knew 100% was the fact that this is a part of a story, if that makes sense. Whereas the first season was its own story, the second season is pretty obviously part one to a two-parter. Season 3 obviously is the end. They probably, if they wanted to, could have wrapped everything up in one season, but money-wise, they wanted to sort of stretch it out, which is annoying, but I'm not going to blame immediately, especially if it's only like a year wait. If it's another 3-year wait, then we might have some problems, Squid Game. But, so what the point I'm trying to make is, this is going to end on an unsatisfying cliffhanger, 1000%. It might only be like 3 games in, 2 games in, 3 games in. So, I don't know. I'm scared. I'm very scared. Did I like? I don't know which episode. I think I liked this episode more slightly than the first one. With the first season, for those who didn't watch my reactions, I essentially liked every episode more and more and more. I know that Ganbu was like the most popular episode of season 1. And while it was phenomenal, and while it was the most like, well, I can't even say that because I think that the final was actually more emotionally hitting for me. Specifically, like the single moment wise, Jihan's mom was by far the most emotional moment of the story for me. But obviously, looking back on it, the old man, I loved Ali. He was my favorite, like, wholesome character, if that makes sense. All that being said, Ganbu was probably my second or third favorite episode. My favorite episode was probably the next episode, VIPs, with the glass game. I really liked that game. I liked episode 8 too, even though it was shorter. Again, I'm Sangwoo. Sangwoo was my favorite character, so I think Sangwoo's strongest episode was probably episode 8, so that's why it might be my favorite. I don't know. Every episode last season was great. And so far, this has sort of kept up that pattern. I'll say it again, very different. The first 2 episodes were considerably different. But I expected that. You had to have that sort of change in pace because the fundamental motivation of the main character is considerably different. Just because we're ending up in the same situation, we got here through different means and we're here for different means. We have different motivations and objectives. It's not just survive. We're surviving to bring this whole shit down. And not only that, but the schemes with Jun-Ho and, you know what I mean, security and all that and infiltrating, they're all connected. Obviously, that little chip in Jihan, not chip, like a communications device, is going to be taken away from Jihan. There's no question about that. Will they miss the tooth? I think for plot reasons they probably have to. But even if they don't, like they can still track to where it landed. Like they're not gonna see it in the car. They're gonna see it when they transport him there. So the tracker's 100% arriving to the island at the very least. Don't know. I don't know. I think that's gonna be it for this episode. I think I want to just hop straight to the next one. Quite honestly, I'm excited to see introductions to new players. I'm excited to see if we get any of the same games. I would assume I think maybe even just from like a marketing standpoint, I think that they might have the same first and last game. Although another thing I missed on my first watch that I didn't even talk about last episode, there are multiple games in different countries, and each country sort of plays different games, you know, related to the culture. So the Squid Game at the end isn't it isn't something that happens every game. Not even just in the Korean version, I would assume. It doesn't happen in anything. So I do find it weird why it's called Squid Files, or like the things were called Squid Files. I don't know if the whole thing is called Squid Game, but I know that the archives were called Squid Files. That part is very intriguing, and the reason I bring that up is I'm interested to see if the Squid Game part is kept at the end of every game. But I don't know because the VIPs didn't recognize it, but also I don't know if it was the VIPs' first time watching. There's a lot of questions. I've only seen the show once. I didn't even get to rewatch it fully. So I don't know. I do not know. But the one thing I wanted to say was, from a marketing standpoint, I think most of the games were like really, really, really mainstream popular. Not just because of the popularity of the Netflix show, but just like the games were so fun and easy, and they sort of translated well to multiple other things. All that being said, I think marketing-wise, Red Light, Green Light was the most popular thing. It took the world by storm. So if there was any chance that there was a repeating game, it would be that. Whether that's the first game still, I don't know. I said it a minute ago, but my favorite episode was either 6, 7, or 8. Probably 7 or 8. But my favorite game, without question, was that Glass game. I just feel like I really enjoyed that game. There was something about it. It was magical. The tension, the conflict, everything about it was perfect for me. But I'm done talking. I'm done yapping for you guys. I will yap at the end of the next episode with 100% certainty. If you guys liked the video, drop a like, leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. I've got the flying through action up on Patreon. And if you like the content I put out on the channel, please subscribe. It really does help me out, and I would really appreciate it. See you guys in a couple days.